Camp Live. I have to wait for a second here for YouTube to kick on in. Maybe YouTube will kick on in here in a second. But with that being said, though, Spoon, little Sunday Funday football. I mean, not your typical we got games or anything. But with that being said, you know what we do have? Some practice to talk about.
Yes, sir.
Some practice to talk about. As I'm trying to see here, but we're having some hiccups over here on the YouTube. Sorry about that for those of you. There we go. We got the YouTube up too for all of our people there on YouTube. What's good? What's good? All right. Finally, we got YouTube going and rolling. Anyways, we see Buddha's in the building. Jackson in the building. What's going on? Oh, you said get it started. I hear you. I hear you, definitely. And let's go and get into it. Just some other differences as we're going through, right? We're going to keep kind of touching on these differences that they're doing in camp, right? And one of those episodes, we got nameplates on the back of jerseys now. We got nameplates on the back of jerseys. I mean, you know, the coaching staff ain't been here. Something a little new, you know, expediting the process of learning everybody's name. So a little bit of that. Obviously, Jalen Jux is gone. Team Jux is officially over. Me and Mendoza, we're going to pour one out tonight for our guy Jelks. Obviously, they had to make room for Everson Griffin. On our 3-hour show where we had Bluffs and we had Jay Tuck from Cowboys Fans Only on, we talked about that, and I mentioned it's like this might be the time Jay that old Jux gets up out of here, and he didn't. Obviously, Cameron Irving as well did not practice today, so there's that as well. La'el Collins still practicing off to the side, undisclosed minor injury that's holding him back. We've heard about minor injuries not holding people back before, Spoon, and it kind of lingers and lingers. Now it's only 2 practices. Reason for concern about Collins right now, or much to do nothing so far still?
I mean, Mike McCarthy said it's not serious. We have to take his word for it. Have to right now. Right now, I'm not pushing the red button, you know, for panic. And I trust the guys in his place are getting some good reps at that spot. So just in case, but right now it's too early. This is about their 3rd practice, so I'm not worried about it right now.
Okay, not yet. You know, obviously we want to hear and Buddha checking this and concerned about the O-line. Obviously, you know, I'm concerned about left guard. Period. I want to see Connor McGovern maybe walk through that door when it comes to versus Collins. Now, obviously, not Collins. Connor Williams. Obviously, with limited ability from La'el Collins not being on the practice field. Obviously, with Irving not being there, D-line a little bit of an advantage on some of these 7-on-7s a little bit, and we're kind of hearing we're hearing about LVE get batted passes. We're about Alden Smith getting batted passes and almost picking it up afterwards. Jalen Smith today, another batted pass. Andy done a little bit of an underthrow, bounced off of Gallup's chest plate, and Anthony Brown with the interception. We heard about today the Rook Diggs shooting down, trailing downfield on Devin Smith, got an interception. Worley with the punch out. I mean, these DBs and these linebackers very active early on, but now sometimes the defense comes in hot and the offense obviously takes a little bit longer to get going, especially when you got some pieces missing. I mean, and again, we're talking about 7-on-7 drills, but it's good to see the defense active. But I'm with you. Definitely big concerns on the O-line. Whether left guard's got to settle itself right. We kind of got Looney penciled in there at center now. That's kind of what it looks like it's going to be. 2 practices and what it feels like. That right tackle position, though, whew. Hopefully, as you said, Spoon, you think it's, you know, let's go and take McCarthy at his word and hope that this isn't something with Collins that's going to continuously linger on as we get him. Now, one of the things that I enjoyed today, you know, I always say that it ain't really training camp until we get into a little bit of skirmish, a little, you know, a little heated battle, a little heated debate. Maybe you got to get some guys into the separate. My guy Tristan Hill, got into it a little bit today. So I mean, maybe feeling the pressure. You know, we heard a lot of his thing last year was his attitude, not aggressive, different things like that. How do you are you a fan of training camp skirmishes happening, or how do you feel about those, Spoonie?
No, I love fights. I love it. I loves it. I love when guys get into it. That's that passion. That's that passion of doing whatever you want to get by that moment. You into it, and that's good to hear from Tristan Hill. Who again, I'm one of the critics out there about him. But it's good to see that the team believes in him. They're not giving up on it, and at the same time, he's not making them look bad for them not giving up on him, and that's an important part. So hey, listen, the young man, when he got drafted, there were some things about him that good positive things about him that you would like, and it's pretty much showing. So hopefully he keeps it going.
Right, and Cheeto also got. I forgot if I mentioned it or not. Cheeto got an interception off of Ben DiNucci today as well. Right. So active across the board, if you will. Dak went 6 of 8 in the 7-on-7 drills. D-Law got a sack as well. And while we're talking about D-Law, Aldon Smith standing on one side, D-Law standing on the other. We got the first, words about the multiple defense, and we saw some 3-man fronts today with those guys standing up and getting after it. And of course, Aldon Smith, who is the conundrum, right? And we're like, he's been gone from the game for 4 or 5 years. What is he going to have? What's he going to bring? 2 practices in, seems like he's just continuously getting better, right? Another better pass, got to the quarterback, beat Tyron Smith in 1-on-1 drills. Did you hear Zach Martin, what he had to say about Aldon Smith?
No, I didn't hear that part. I really didn't hear that.
Yeah.
Lying me. Yeah, I got to hear this.
Zach Martin came out and said, they don't make him like him, and talking about he's got some, some of that bend that we always talk about and whatnot. And when you got Zach Martin out here kind of talking about a kid like that already, being away from the game for 5 years, and Zach Martin's taking notice 2 practices in, that's a great sign for us at the end of the day. A great sign for us. And Dave Moore says he has to put a better effort, or he will be talking. That fair enough, Dave Moore, and absolutely. The second practice in, and I think it was either Connor Williams or Connor. I think it was Connor Williams he tied it up with. But yeah, feisty is the word early, Dave, and absolutely he's got to bring that passion and that heat. And another thing that Zach Martin talked about was tempo of the offense already, or not the offense, but the practice in general, the tempo picking up.
Here's the thing: Tristan Hill is surrounded by dogs more now. Not saying last year we got Michael Bennett a little bit late. You got some guys in there who are brand new. You're around veterans who have made names in other places, along with D-Law with Dallas. So you got D-Law, you got Alden, all right? You got Poe there. Even though Poe has been practiced, but again, he's still over there. And then you also have Jerry McCoy. You have guys who have made a name for so, and now he's surrounded by that. And I guarantee you, they're saying, listen, we got to get in there and have that attitude, man. And that's going to make it a lot better. I can't wait for Griffin to come on Tuesday. I can't wait because we all know how his attitude is. And it's going to be a plus. These younger guys need to be around veteran guys. I was always told when I was young, a young man could definitely mature quicker surrounded by grown, mature men, older. And we have that this year. Not saying, I'm not trying to respect last year, but it's way different this year. Way different. And that's a good thing for him. That will make him keep improving as he goes along.
Yeah. Buddha with the worried about Tyron because he seems to be slowing down with not a legit left guard in Donald week 1. I mean, there's two blades. I mean, 2 edges to the blade, right? All right, Tyron, first 2 practices, okay. But we're talking about Aldon Smith. I mean, whether he's out of football or not, we know what he brings to the table. And we have to look at, we've brought in better pass rushers in to possibly give Tyron. And again, I always feel like defense always starts out hotter in these training camps than offense does. But we'll see. It's definitely something to put an eye on. I mean, I've been a long time guy of, if it wasn't this year, definitely next year, we got to start really focusing on who we're going to bring in here to be the backup or the incumbent, if you will, for one Tyron Smith. Love the guy to death, but that back in when we get to the point where you're kind of penciling 2 to 3 games he might not be able to play, it's becoming an issue more and more so. But let's not let's put the dirt away. Let's not bury Tyron yet. Early on these first two practices, but the left guard I definitely worry about the left guard. Yeah, Jay Moore, if you got a question, definitely pop it there. Anybody's got a question, go for it. Pop it up there. We'll get to that as we're going through here. Cheeto got to speak today as well. Obviously, after not only just getting the interception, but able to talk. Said no one's talked to him about moving to safety, which, for me is huge for me. I'm a big proponent of him not going to safety. I've been saying leave him at corner. Looks like they are going to leave him at corner. Obviously, kind of backdoor what George Iloka had said, basically that we're multiple, we're disguising coverages, we're moving pre-snap in, his belief that in his belief that that's going to cause confusion on the offense and stuff. Again, while this maybe a little bit ahead of the offense right now. And even about the point that somebody from the offense says, hey, man, what defense are y'all running? And, as of compared to last year, anytime in training camp or anything, they knew already. Like they already knew. So, I mean, thought the Cheeto press conference today.
Well, a key word what he came out and said, and again, not trying to disrespect what he was taught last season with the other staff is that we're not statues. We're not showing you what we're gonna do. With this type of defense, we're gonna basically play with your minds. Because he came out and said right there, he said the quarterback will already read and knows what's gonna happen already because we should be giving it to them. In this type of defense, they're gonna think one thing, but it's really another thing. That's how you create turnovers. And the encouraging thing is that they're putting them hands on them footballs. I don't get discouraged when I'm hearing interceptions. I really don't get discouraged because at the end of the day, that's what it's about. It's all about that. You know what I'm saying? So even though Dak did go 6 for 7. 7 on 7.
Yeah, 7.
Yeah, so he wasn't bad, but I like to hear those things that we've been worrying about with the secondary. Now, as far as Cheeto not going to safety, that's probably because there's somebody out there, they looking at it like, we may not have to make that move, and hopefully Donovan Wilson keeps growing and growing and growing. That's what I'm waiting for.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, getting chances with the ones. It's all, and he was able to get an interception in the first practice. Definitely want to see some more of that. Dave Moore said, offense has more chemistry, in my opinion. Defense needs time to gel due to new additions. I don't think that's the case because we're only in 7-7 drills. So when you're lining up and your thing, it's go get the quarterback, hold right here, your man coverage outside, maybe a little bit on the coverage or whatever, or the communication, but on the opposite side of the ball, man, I mean, you're missing your right tackle. You're not really sure what's going to happen for you at left guard. You do, even though Looney has played some, he's still replacing Frederick at center. Tyron Smith getting up to par. You don't have your full incumbents of the backups either. So you're going even further down the depth chart whenever like Cam Irving's not able to step in. And it's a whole new system. Even though they're trying to make it easier by Mike McCarthy learning the verbiage a little bit more than it's still the West Coast system and what they're trying to get after with the rookie Lamb in there, who we all, by all accounts, we believe is going to be a beast. And figuring out what the new wrinkles and stuff that they're doing. I always kind of feel like again, defensively just seems to always start stronger for me. And I think right now that's probably the case as well. More so probably due to the influx of the offensive line.
Right. Hey, we also don't even know what they're running too. Even though Kellen Moore is the OC, we don't know what type of plays they're running. So it could be certain plays that they haven't ran before is new to them. So again, everything is trial by ever. That's the way it is. It's practice. It's practice.
Yeah. Make the mistakes now. Hall, oh man. Said, Nix, how do you feel about Jelks getting cut rather than someone else? That was our guy. I know, man. RIP. I kind of led off with that, man. RIP to Team Jelks. Man, we had an extra long show the other night with Bluff City and Cowboys Fans Only, a.k.a. Jay Tuck. And me and Spoon was on there too, obviously. And, man, I kind of mentioned it. I was like, man, this might be where Jelks gets the X a little bit. I hate to see it, but, 7th round pick, obviously. Finished the year on injured reserve last year. We're 2 in. I mean, it's Everson Griffith, right? We know what they've brought in. And even trying to break down what this defensive line is going to look like, man. There's going to be some tough cuts. And Jelks, unfortunately, was the easy cut to be had. I hate it. I wish he got a chance, especially with the opportunity to stand up outside and whatnot. But
Right.
yeah, as we had to put the rest, hashtag Route 32, it's time to put the rest, hashtag Team Jokes as well.
I know it hurts, man. Listen, I definitely know it hurts. But you know what? Look at the bright side. He's getting cut because you're adding good veteran pieces to the team, and you can't keep everybody. And that's the thing about it.
Mm-hmm. And of course, I guess in case no one doesn't know, Everson Griffin is going to be rocking 96. That's the number he took, by the way. 96 for Everson. We'll see if that's or not, but at least it's going to be 96. Also, another thing from Cheeto. Oh, go ahead. You like the 96?
Yeah, I don't like that. I'm supporting, but I don't like that. I don't like that. I think Tristan Hill should give him his 97 out of respect. I think he should give him his number out of respect.
Yeah.
No, I don't like that.
I mean, you know, he might not want to ask Tristan Hill today. Tristan Hill's a little feisty today, for sure. And of course, Hallback doing off of the jokes. Was Joe Jackson better? Here's the thing: Joe Jackson got on the field last year and he was healthy. So, I mean, your best ability sometimes is availability. Now, getting Jokes to the practice squad was kind of a stash and dash kind of deal. I don't think he was that injured, but again, you take that risk, you do that, that's fine. New regime, and they're going to look at the tape and see what's happening for sure. Also, Bob De Niro in this thing says, I'm excited to see the kid Bernard can do a linebacker. I think he makes the team. Obviously, he's Bradley Anae, former teammate at Utah. Little undersized. He's about 6 feet. He's a little undersized. Got a motor. You know, got some good tape out there. Again, and we've talked about these rookie guys that can come in here and make the team. It's just hard, man. It's just super hard for you know. Now we can say that the linebacker position is maybe a little light for what we like, especially in the middle. But it's going to be hard for him to make it. I'm not saying he can't. I just think, you know, if we're talking about 1 or 2 rookie free agents making this team, I don't know if he's going to be the one, but we'll see. I mean, he's got a chance to be in the fight. That's why I hate the fact we don't have preseason games, because it hurts a guy like him to get that good tape.
In my opinion, he should make this team. And fans will fall in love with him real quick. He's a good player.
Yeah. Oh, Rush Turner. Yeah, man. Jokes is out of there, brother. Just how we put the Route 33 to rest, we got to put the Team Jokes to rest as well. Another thing from Cheeto today said opting out was not an option. It's contract year. I said maybe we'll get all training camp.
Listen, he's keeping it real. I mean, like I said, we may not retain him. It doesn't look likely, in my opinion. We drafted Diggs. And you got other corners up there who can step in that role. But at the end of the day, he's going to put out his best, because now he's performing for the Cowboys, but other teams, in case we don't resign him. So he's going to bring his best.
Right.
And will bring his best.
And of course, his direct quote was, "It's contract year, baby." Focused, ready to get it in there. You know, and again, I'm excited. If y'all been a long-term listener to this show, we did a percentage game on Cheeto where he was going to be at. I was up here. I was way up here, Cheeto at cornerback. I think scheme hurt him a ton. He was never truly beat. He faced off against ones and wasn't really getting his, you know, tail handed to him, if you will. I am super excited about Cheeto staying at cornerback and getting this coaching from the Al Harrises of the world and stuff like that. I think it's going to be huge. I think in general, Al Harris is going to be huge for all of them. But again, just him in general, man, I'm super excited for him. And it gives our guy Donovan Wilson a chance at cornerback. But hey, I'm still just getting Logan Ronnie here. Italy's in the building. What's going on, sir? Thank you as always, Joe, for tuning in. We appreciate you.
Yes.
Logan Ryan, Turner, Rush Turner. Logan Ryan's the guy I wouldn't mind them bringing in for sure at the safety position. I'm gonna keep banging the table for that. But now let's kind of talk about what we've seen so far with the cornerback position in the first 2 practices. Right? We got the outside starters being Cheeto, Anthony Brown, with Lewis in the slot. You know, some people was worried that Lewis was going to get a fair shake there. And then we got the rotation of Worley and Diggs on the outside. Do you think that's something that's going to hold, or do you think that's something that's going to change?
for what I was hearing, they really want Diggs to start.
Mm-hmm.
He's making plays. I think Diggs will start.
Mm-hmm.
If Diggs keeps doing like what he did today, he showed his skills of tracking that football.
Yeah, Devin Smith downfield.
He's gonna start. As far as nickel, I'm happy that Jordan Lewis right now is the guy. I keep saying it. The guy, he's probably one of my best guys back there, so I like it that way. And of course, Cheetah will be the other starter. But Diggs, if he keeps doing what he's doing right now, he's gonna be the starter.
You know, the one thing that puzzles me outside of the first two rounds of practice, well, we haven't heard anything about Robinson II yet. Not really any kind of word. No, hey, where's he lining up? Are they trying to get safety? Are they putting him at corner? Are they putting him in the slot? Not a whole lot. I mean, if anyone's seen anything, because I've been looking for it and I ain't been able to find anything about Reggie Robinson. Yeah, I'm very intrigued. Is that maybe something they're trying to keep under wraps right now? Because we do know this McCarthy is controlling this thing, phones and stuff like that. So again, kind of interesting that we haven't heard anything about Reggie Robinson II yet.
Yeah, that's a good point right there. It's tough. I guess the minute we hear what position he's lining up, that's probably where we see that they're gonna want him at. Again, it's like going back to the NFL draft. They said that he could play safety. I think with the corners, I think with Cheeto and with Diggs and Anthony Brown and Jordan Lewis, even early, I think that's covered already. Where's there a good spot to put Reggie Robinson III? In my opinion, maybe just safety. Maybe safety. It could be It could be a good competition right there between Reggie Robinson, Donovan Wilson, and Xavier Woods, just for that spot right there. So we already know HaHa is winning that spot. I think the corners is pretty much locked in already. For what it's still early in training camp, but I guess with the route they're going, the corners are locked in. Just don't know who's going to be the main starter yet, but I think Reggie Robinson will get tried at safety.
Well, I mean, definitely want to see something, hear something from him. I mean, on the back door, that haven't really heard much about Xavier Woods either yet. So, what's a wait and see. I know where you stand on Woods, Spoon. You and Jay Tuck. I think Jay Tuck's starting to see the light with you as well. I guess another thing too, because we kind of brought this up on the last show, and and actually I saw something about it. The music's out of there, ladies and gentlemen. Like maybe the country club feeling at times or whatnot, out of there. Said through the 9-minute practice, I think it was David Hellman actually tweeted this. Maybe 3 songs, and basically it was during water breaks, and like that was it. The rest of the time, you heard coaches coaching and things going on. Again, one of those small differences, right? Okay, they're not playing music, but I think it goes a long ways when we're talking about the psyche of the players.
Here's the thing. 10 years.
Yeah.
It's been the same Camp Candyland the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
I used to read stuff about players all going to the beach and playing volleyball.
Right.
I'm like, don't get me wrong. I've always believed in you want to have a bond with your players. You want them team camaraderie. You want all that good stuff. There's certain things you got to, and it hurts when you're not winning and you're still doing the same thing. McCarthy is making this team. We want to be strict with this team. Strict, hardcore football. Look at just the moves they make.
About winning, right?
It's about winning.
Mm-hmm.
It's no more that I don't want that guy because he's mean. He talks too much. No, he's talented. We got coaches to handle that. That's what it's about. You're bringing in players. And what it does is it rubs on to the other players who want to get like Tristan Hill. Him being around those type of vets is going to rub on him.
Right.
That helps.
Yeah. I mean, definitely. And the fact, not just like your Zach Martins of the world, but we've heard this from guys on defense and offense say the tempo of practice is so much faster. And, one of the things that I think it was David Hellman as well, said that, the tempo of the Garrett practices were pretty upbeat and everything, but these players are saying this in another gear. But again, that's just them differences in what you're bringing in here. And, whenever whenever players are getting rotation into the first team and they feel like they actually have a chance, the best player's going to play. We talk about like this whole pre-position, you know who's going to be here and whatever. They, your intensity comes up some. Back to the Tristan Hill thing today and getting to a skirmish and whatnot. Grab this out of here from Buddha says, I wish another guy would come in. Logan Ryan, I'm gonna keep banging the table. Logan Ryan at safety, but host for Robinson. Yeah, we gotta wait and see. When he gets his turn, maybe he gets some shine there. Yeah, it's just those things. Like I'll take notes. I mean, so far through 2 practices, right? We got the red jerseys on the quarterback. All right, that's something new. All right, we're not playing music only during water breaks. Okay, that's something new. All right, we're practicing. We saw the drill today where they were catching the ball together, Amari and Gallup, and then you hand wrestle over the ball. Right. So you got something new there. I saw another clip where they're showing them trailing and punching the ball from behind. Just different things that led off camp with special teams, letting everyone know, hey, special teams matters. It has to come up. It's just those little things with it. I mean, there's a litany list, right, that we can go through just through 2 practices. It's like, man, it feels like. I mean, look, and again, I'm not trying to compare. Just man, it feels like during the coaches are in control, and we're here for one reason and one reason only, and they're here to get after it and see what's going on.
Right.
I definitely am excited about everything that's happening. Cameron checking the bill said, "Let's do it, Cowboys fan. What's your thoughts on CeeDee Lamb? 1 kickoff return seems he's been taking a lot of reps in camp as the primary. I think he's going to get a chance at the punt return for sure. I think Pollard's still going to be the guy at kick return, but I think Lamb's going to get the shot at punt returner. I know so far him and was it Cedric Wilson Spoon, right? That were back there for punts early on. I'm here for it. Any way that you can get that kind of guy the ball in his hand in space, by all means, I'm here for it. You can't play scared. Put him out there and let him go play. Let him do what he does.
Put your best players in every position to help you win. That's the bottom line. If he gives you that, he gives you that.
Yeah, another blade, for his Rookie of the Year campaign. Right. Another thing today, kind of touching back. Now, this was something that was brought up before about Blake Jarwin, and when he was playing for Oklahoma State, he played what was called the cowboy position, which means you had to play tight end, fullback, and split out wide receiver, and kind of tipped his hand there a little bit there that McCarthy has talked to him about this already, him getting back to that mold. So again, disguising offensively, we're going to see Blake Jarwin maybe a little bit of everywhere in the backfield, split on the other side. Obviously, we knew we was going to see him lined up at tight end and maybe in the slot, but maybe even more on the outside. Again, just taking the players and do what they do best. And obviously, he did that in college. Something that me and Spoon talked about a ton whenever we first drafted him was like, man, he's an athletic Witten is what he is, and he does a multitude of things. Spoon, how did you feel about him kind of leaking a little bit of that information there, and McCarthy already having that talk with him?
Flexibility, my man. Flexibility. Using your players and what they do best. I loves it. It's not like we got a fullback here. Yeah, he can do this, and we only see one game when he gets one catch and he disappears again. Or like a Devin Smith has a good game against the Redskins and then disappears for the rest of the year, and there's no update on what happened. They're using their players whatever they do best, and I loves that. I loves it. Hey, listen, that could definitely confuse a defensive player what to do. He's lined up at fullback at certain things, but he rides out, out to the flat, whatever. That could definitely open things up in a lot of different ways. I loved it. I loves it. And it's good for Blake Jarwin because he also commented on the comment with the Jason Witten. The media brought that up, of course. And I like what he said, which is respectful. Because listen, I don't know what that's from, but Witten is a leader. He has done a lot for me, a lot of teaching excellence. Listen, we all know we got good players. We all know that.
Yeah, Spoon. I got the this is straight from Todd Archer. I got the actual quote here. I say he took a little exception with Hooper's Jason Witten report on unwillingness to help. Says, you talk about a leader in the tight end room. He taught me a lot, Jarwin said. I know there's been some rumors that maybe he wasn't the best teammate to the tight ends. and I couldn't disagree more. Me and Dalton Schultz talked quite a bit about that lately. Just that we have learned from him the respect for the game he has and what he taught us as players. So, maybe it's a little much to do about nothing as it pertains to the Witten thing. Obviously, there's going to be a connect because Schultz and Hooper were there, and maybe that's something Schultz did. Maybe Schultz did feel that way, but apparently, Blake Jarwin doesn't.
I believe. Listen, end of the day, Blake Jarwin earned the right to get a lot of playing time last night. He did. It was more of a personal friendship thing with Witten and Garrett that he didn't. We all seen that.
Yeah.
And I'm just happy he's going to get the opportunity right now, but from a different coach who will know how to use him. And again, if everybody likes to know how they will use him, well, look at like Jimmy Graham. The only difference is Jimmy Graham never lined up at fullback or none of that. He lined up at wide receiver. But again, they use him. McCarthy used him.
Right.
Whatever he's best to do. Whatever he's good at. And I love that.
And of course, McCarthy's quote today. And now, for those that have been a long time listener here, again, I've talked tremendously about the middle of the field. And, on defense, I get to be able to defend every single layer of the middle of the field. The best teams, I posted some stats of this and whatnot. The best teams, your Kansas City Chiefs, they attack the middle of the field in the passing game. That's what they do. You have to be able to do those things. The best teams in the league did that. The Cowboys were at the bottom of that on throwing the ball. They threw the ball majority to the outside, so on and so forth. And Mike McCarthy today about Blake Jarwin as well said, I think Blake is going to make a real impact on our offense. The ability to attack the middle of the field, in my view, is always critical to the passing game. I've been so impressed with him and really the entire tight end group. Hey, if you don't want to believe you got Knicks, that's fine. That's fine. Who am I? Straight from the horse's mouth, though, right there, ladies and gentlemen, and that pertains to one Mike McCarthy and giving you an idea of what this offense and where we're going to really attack this thing at. Yeah, and the running game as well. Steve Ballman checked in. What's going on? Yeah, running in between tackles. Yeah, I mean, you got to be able to attack, man. I mean, you got to be able to attack the middle of the field, and that's why the slot's going to be so big for us in this West Coast offense. Not only with Blake attacking that middle, but when you get that Amari Cooper and you get CeeDee Lamb in that slot position, as already talking about CeeDee Lamb on all three positions already. That wide receiver, man, it's just that's where you got to be able to attack and get your. You get your shots outside for sure. Don't get it twisted, but you got to be able to attack that middle and keep them honest. No extra defenders on them boundaries in that middle. Them drags, them them drags, them quick comebacks, them curls right there in that middle, quick slants. I'm ready for them attacks, man. I'm ready for him. I'm excited for Blake.
Again, we should be a top 3 offense easily. Top 3. Not saying number 1. Top 3.
I mean, low key. I mean, we were. I mean, at the end of the day, we were number 2 in yardage last year, if I'm not mistaken, or 1, 1 or 2. So I mean, it's not that far away. We got to get that scoring up a little bit, but that was CeeDee Lamb getting in here. All right. Says, do you think he has a better complement of players that he has in the Super Bowl, who's Green Bay team, as Mike McCarthy? I mean, man, I'd have to dial up the McCarthy team. I know Starks kind of showed up there at the very end and provided them the running game they needed on number 44. But boy, they had that Charles Woodson, but they had old Charles Woodson lurking back there, man. In that secondary, obviously he was playing safety, but he still played a little slot. I mean, he was a weapon, if you will.
I have the guys right here. You want to compare? I have the guys right here.
Okay, let me know.
All right. Well, of course they had Aaron Rodgers, of course. Running back Brandon Jackson and fullback Corby Hall. Receivers was Donald Driver, Greg Jennings. Tight end was Donald Lee. Offensive line, Chad Clifton was the most notable name. He made a Pro Bowl that year. Ryan Bulaga, that was his rookie year when he won. You got Ryan Pickett at defensive end, B.J. Raji, that was that big boy they had at nose tackle.
Yeah.
Cullen Jenkins, Clay Matthews, A.J. Hawk, Desmond Bishop, Frank Zombo. They went 3-4 that year. Charles Woodson at corner, Tremont Williams at the other corner. At safety was Charlie Pepper and Nick Collins. Now, here's the thing. I'm not trying to be biased,
Mhm.
The only thing I would say that in that Super Bowl roster, to answer the question, is better than the Cowboys. Aaron Rodgers, that's the man right there. Let's just keep it real.
Yeah.
Okay, that's one thing. As far as the wide receiver corps, I give it to Dallas. The running backs, I give it to Dallas.
Right.
The offensive line, I give it to Dallas.
That's a push. That's a push. Without Zach, excuse me, without Travis, we got to see. I don't left guard.
I think it's better.
Okay.
It's better. Hey, Zach Martin is the best lineman in football.
I understand, but we're talking about the whole five, though.
Well, yeah, the only Brian Bulaga was his rookie year, and Chad Clifton was his Pro Bowl year.
Okay,
at 34 years old.
Okay,
Tyron, I give Tyron the edge to Chad Clifton.
Give me the rest.
As far as
the rest of the offensive line.
The
rest.
Darren College.
Okay,
I don't think he's in the league anymore. Scott Wells and Josh Sitton.
Oh, Sitton's a beast though. Now, Sitton was a beast too. Don't sleep on Sitton.
Oh, but listen, he's at right guard. I give Zach Martin will beat him. Zach Martin at right guard to win.
But it's good. But a solid offensive line though. That's not the offensive line was boo boo. But go ahead.
Now, as far as defense, see the Cowboys right now have more bigger names. You figure Ryan Pickett, B.J. Raji, Colin Jenkins.
Right.
Yeah, they got a jump. That team was more together. This team is brand new, but we got bigger names. Because now what we got is we got starters from other teams. Now, again, Charles Woodson, that's the Hall of Famer right there.
Yeah.
We have nobody in the secondary compared to Charles Woodson. But overall, to answer Mr. Davis Moore's question, hell yes. This Cowboys roster, I paid is more talented than Green Bay's roster during that Super Bowl year. I'm gonna say it. We got way more better players.
So what you're saying
by
is
name.
So what you're saying is it's on the quarterback now.
Listen, I think I believe Dak can do it. Rodgers was still the best quarterback at that game. Dak is not right now, but he's still solid enough to get the job done because of what he's surrounded by as well. So listen. End of the day, I think overall, kind of players, more talented.
Yeah, fair enough. I know Steele got beat for a sack today. We'll definitely have to see, how Steele comes along. And Tyler Badaz, aka Tyler Badass, he's got every opportunity to be really good. Johnny Diaz, I definitely agree. Just depends on how quickly they bring him along and where he ends up and whatnot. But I agree, he's definitely got a chance to be really good for a really long time.
Right.
Spoon, anything else that you heard from the first camp practice to this one here that stood out for you? Anything or something today maybe?
Attitudes.
Okay.
3 times better. I love the fighting, the attacking. Players are coming out basically saying without trying to disrespect last year's staff, are saying the things that they're doing differently that helps you win. And it kind of all you can do is pretty much go back to what other guys like George Iloka, what he was saying. He was on the team at the time, and you could just combine, you could just mix it up because you know what? Yeah, basically, the communication is way better. And I love what Dak came out and said. Dak came out and said that with this coaching staff, it's not about just calling plays. It's about everybody's communicating with each other on what's going on during the field. So you learn the game better like that as it goes along, and I love that. That means better communication.
Yeah, I think I think I think this coaching staff and everything they're doing is forcing competition. Back to the one-handed catches. With Gallup and Cooper, they both catch the ball, they fight for it. Are they fighting? To be the starter? No, they know they're starting, but it's still creating competition. The different drills they're putting them through with the chase and punch out and stuff, like they're just creating competition and competitiveness with all these drills, more so than maybe we've seen in the past. I definitely think the competition levels up. I think also too, and this goes a long ways in that locker room. Whenever coaches say stuff and then it translates to the field, they can buy in. And we talked about that before. The players have to buy in to go anywhere. And for instance, we've heard things before, right? I mean, how long did we hear about, this is going to be the year for Rico Gathers? The coaching staff said about Rico Gathers and everything, and it never happened, right?
Who's Steph?
You know, I mean, there's a lot of it that we've seen before, you know, but now here, right? The Cowboys said they were going to be running multiple defense, not just traditional 4-3. So it's no surprise that ends today, right? DeMarcus Lawrence and Alex Smith were standing up and rushing with 3 down linemen. Lawrence said in the spring, that he would rush standing up in the new look. Said it in the spring. The players were told this. By the second practice of camp, they're already showing it. If you told the players in spring and by the second camp practice you're showing them, D-Law in his head automatically says, okay, what they're telling me isn't lip service. We're seeing it happen. We're putting it to use and practicing it.
And the beautiful thing about this, again, I know a lot of us are not fans of the 3-4 defense. Don't compare to the 3-4 defenses that the Cowboys had with Wade Phillips compared to with Mike Nolan. Here's the difference. All you had was DeMarcus Ware. You had Anthony Spencer for a little bit, but with the injuries back and forth in contract, that ain't
for a little while.
Yeah, exactly. Canty didn't stay long enough. So they never went hard to surround DeMarcus Ware in that defense. Remember, we got, I don't want to mention the RG3 with one leg, but that pretty much tells you right there. Once we lost that game to the Redskins, everybody got tired of the 3-4. And what happened? DeMarcus Ware the following year with Garrett, let's go to the 4-3 and let DeMarcus Ware gain weight. And that didn't do right for him. That's why after they went to Denver. This 3-4 defense, DeMarcus Lawrence played 3-4 in Boise State. He knows how to stand up. Jalen Smith played 3-4 defense at Notre Dame, and he was also the pass rusher. LBE played 3-4 defense in Boise State as well. So Aldon Smith with the 49ers and Iowa played 3-4 defense. So this is nothing new. These guys are going to come in right here and start doing something they used to doing in the past, whether with their former teams or, college. End of the day, they can do it. It's not the same where you invest a lot of money into plays in a 4-3 and none of them can play the 3-4. Like, perfect example, Greg Ellis. You drafted him out of North Carolina.
Right.
Play 4-3 defense. Parcells comes over. I'm gonna try for you to stand up and play 3-4. It was the same thing with Willie McGinnis with the Patriots. Greg Ellis had to get information. Well, how to do the 3-4. I never tried, never played. Even though Greg Ellis was solid, he wasn't the same player as that 4-3 He was solid at 3-4, but wasn't the same play. The guys we got right now, they will not miss a beat. That's what I love about it. That's what I'm excited about it. They would not miss a beat.
Right. And of course, kind of turning to in here, Dave Moore saying, it seems like nothing positive is coming out of practice too. I mean, yeah, so far, I mean, the honeymoon era is back, as I said. Till we get to some games and some shows, the honeymoon era is definitely back. Things are definitely going the right way. And the hybrid, and as Mark says, and whenever we're going to speak into existence, when Gregory comes back, can also stand up and play the 3-4 as well. Yeah, and that was the big key in getting Poe to play that one or that nose tackle, and then you can get McCoy at the end and that 3-4. And here's the thing, I got you. And Dave Moore says the hybrid is going to confuse offenses. And let me backdoor you that with Cheeto Bay's comment today, because last year everyone knew what we were running. Now we're trying to be more multiple, more disguised coverages. One of the Cowboys quarterbacks asked in practice what the defense was running, Awuzie said, not the sort of question that was asked in 2019.
Right.
Go ahead.
I got a treat for Star Game. Everybody here watching, I'm going to share again a video of Randy Gregory explaining the 3-4 defense and the 4-3. When you watch that video, you're gonna have a different feel about him. Just the way how he explains it. He ain't one of these cats that is coming to, on a team and just, this guy knows his stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He was basically explaining as if he was Peyton Manning in the film room. Some
Breaking
guys
it
are
down.
not good at explaining stuff. This guy is very particularly very intelligent. After this show's over, I'm gonna share that video at Star Game for everybody can know what I'm talking about. Trust me, I can't wait to see when he gets reinstated and play that position.
Yeah, and I actually pulled up the actual comment from Zach Martin about Aldon Smith today.
Yeah.
Zach Aldon, in his comment was, "Guys just don't move like that." When you watch tape across the league, I've never seen a guy move like that. What did you say Zach Martin was a few minutes ago?
The best
in the league, right?
Go in the league.
2 training camp practices in, and says, when you watch tape across the league, I've never seen a guy move like that. Says a lot coming from him about Aldon Smith. You know, again,
Yeah.
we wonder where he was going to be at, where he was coming. We know he had a pretty good first training camp practice. The second one, even a better one. You know, as I said before, we just get 70% of what Aldon is. It's going to be huge. And you know, I don't want to get too hyped and get over my feet here and bring on the Aldon Smith bandwagon here of the thoughts of, can he be maybe 90% of what he was when he walks away from the game? But I'm super excited to hear those kind of things from him for sure. Because I like the 4-3 just because you have more men on the field, more of a playing chances. Now you do up front for sure, and they're going to be multiple, right? I mean, at the end of the day, we're talking about running the ball. Everson Griffin, Dontari Poe, Gerald McCoy, and D-Law. Goodness, well, hard to run the ball against that. But I think when we get to that 3rd and 8 type of scenario, and you can go ahead and get an Aldon Smith and a standing up, right? And then okay, now in the middle you're going to have Poe, you're going to have McCoy, and then Everson Griffin, you know, and then maybe you can even send a Jalen up the middle or a twist or something. You know, maybe we'll see more than 3-4 there. It's going to be interesting how they, you know, put the 3-4 versus 4 in this multiple defense, how they're going to employ it during these games.
The benefits of the 3-4 defense is more disguises, and a lot of quarterbacks have a hard time recognizing what's about to be thrown at them while playing the 3-4. You could do a lot more different disguises with a 3-4. 4-3 is pretty much straight up, but again, you gotta have that good 4-man line to get to the quarterback. That's the thing about it. But I'm gonna quote Bill Parcells, who loves 3-4 defense. That's been his thing. He's always said the 3-4 defense not only gives you flexibility, but it saves your team money. Because at the end of the day, unless you have a defensive end like J.J. Watt, who is special, I don't remember the last 3-4 end player to get sacked the way he gets sacked. Right. Normally, you're just there trying to hold up that block for your linebacker to make the play. This guy gets sacks. But overall, the 3-4 defense, it helps the team save money because a lot of times, what gets the player paid? Stats. A lot of times, you're not going to see a guy in a 3-4 end get like 15 sacks and command a lot of money, like the way they do in 4-3. And a 4-3 is pretty much is man on man. In 3-4 is so much different. But the key is you got to have good pass rushes. In the past, all we have is DeMarcus Ware. Now, D-Law is surrounded with guys around him. So it's like this guy can come off the field, get a fresh body in there. Guess what? We don't miss a beat. That's what I love about this 3-4 defense. Well, hybrid, excuse me.
Yeah. And of course, Tunner says, what is going on with the commissioner reinstating Randy Gregory? Man, that's $1 million question, man. We've seen Gregory go back and forth with the NFLPA about getting something done there. Man, I wish I had an answer for you.
I have a sense.
Okay.
I have a prediction. I think by the end of this week, he's reinstated.
Okay.
It got too quiet. It
did. They went back and forth, right?
Yeah, it was going back and forth too much, a lot of stuff. And somebody said something, and it got quiet. And once it gets quiet, that's probably because something was said that he likes that may go into his favor. So I'm gonna stay quiet for the rest of the way. I was reading something about that. Why it's taking so long, and it's because they say his attitude. They want to know, because remember when he got reinstated the first time, he went back out again, and so they're questioning him about basically want to see his passion. Do they believe he's gonna be the type of guy to not fall into the same mess all over again? Where all that other kind of stuff. So that's what it's at. But I have a feeling by end of the week he'll be reinstated.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and Buddha also saying, thinking it's going to be the same when it comes to Gregory. Something's going to happen soon. And not for nothing, wasn't a Cowboy would have been this long. There's that bias out there. There is that bias for sure. Johnny Diaz with them ready to see Diggs. Yeah, he's ready to shut something down. Yeah, had a great interception today from all accounts. Went tracked the ball well on a deep pass. I was able to come up with it. I mean, I think a lot of people forget. He originally went to Alabama as a 5-star wide receiver recruit. Obviously, his brother Stephon Diggs. We know what he's done in the league as a wide receiver, and then converted over to cornerback. So the ball skills are there for sure. Absolutely, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So yeah, I mean, again, first 2 practices. Biggest news is no major injuries. Right? No major injuries. Obviously, well, I mean, Jux is more mine than Spoonie's. Route 33 was a little bit more Spoonie than mine. I think Spoonie's going to be all right. I think he's gotten over it now. We signed Everson Griffin. I think that's mended his heart a little.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I saw Jamal Adams the other day. He posted a video of him coming out the Seahawks locker, and I looked at it. I challenged myself. I had a little tear in my eye, but I was good though. I was good. You know why? Because at the end of the day, I believe that Donovan Wilson, or maybe Reggie Robinson the third, if he gets that, excuse me, the second, if he gets that look, will win the safety spot, and I believe they can ball.
Yeah.
No respect to Woods. I think he had his timing. I got my little doubt about that. But I have a feeling that one of those two guys can win the spot. Or, like I said, go BJ's route and get Logan Ryan, which I'm not mad with that at all. Logan Ryan at safety, if you look at his numbers from last year, was better than my guy Jamal Adams.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to admit that. So as long as
flexible, can play in the box, can play.
Yeah. So
flexible, just another back there.
And Stephen Jones did say he wants to add another player. He wanted that too. He added Griffin, so hopefully Logan Ryan is that one more guy. So we'll see with that.
We'll circle the wagon on this one real quick. Diaz probably didn't, I guess he tuned in a little bit later. We actually touched on this earlier. Mike McCarthy says it's not that serious. They're just working it back in there. We kind of posed the question, is it time to start to get concerned about it? I don't think it is, Spoon. I think you kind of co-signed that as well. Not quite the time to get in there and get worried. Now, if we're still talking about him by the end of this week and still not on the field, then I think there's something to it at that point. But I'll give it a couple more days before it gets too concerning. Yeah. But what exactly the undisclosed injury is very undisclosed. We don't know. Oh, my boy Norton checking in on YouTube. New coach, new scheme. You already know. But with that being said, again, back to what I just said, and I saw somebody post on that, and let me throw that up there real quick. The biggest thing from the first 2 practices, no major injuries. The battle of attrition, we are winning so far. Definitely, I'll knock on some wood here. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. We definitely want to make sure we can stay healthy on this thing moving forward. And the excitement, as Spoonie brought up earlier, and the attitude and whatnot. Kennedy came in with a question, says, evaluate 4, 14, and 7. I mean, they've all thrown an interception. Dak was 6 of 8 today. They didn't really give us the stats on the others. Without being able to see what they're doing in practice, man, it's hard to evaluate exactly where they are. And, of course, 5, Thompson. I don't know if he's thrown one yet, but I know Benucci, Dalton, and Dak have all thrown at least 1 interception. But again, hard to evaluate where these quarterbacks are at, what's going on, without really getting any bird's eye view of that.
Mm-hmm.
Spoon, I mean, unless you got something I don't know about.
Nah, not at all. Again, it's still early. You're going to see mistakes. You're going to see a lot of different things. Remember, it could be a brand new offense. It is a new coach. Just because Kellen Moore is the OC don't mean they're going to run the same plays as last year. There'll be some, but at the end of the day, I think to catch up to – remember, this is a time where they're trying to catch up fast than normal times as in the past. So with that being said, you're going to be working – in my opinion, you'll be working more on the new plays that they haven't seen yet to get used to it. That's just my opinion. So it's still fresh.
And of course, I mean, and the biggest thing too, I guess, if we want to evaluate that group, that's exactly where Mike McCarthy is. And I think a valid point to bring up about that, everyone gave a big kudos to John Kitna in that 3 to 4 year development of what happened with Dak Prescott. Well, if you like what John Kitna did, we have to buy into a guy that worked with Brett Favre, who worked with Aaron Rodgers, the Aaron Brooks of the world that he worked with that went down to New Orleans and led them to the playoffs. And the fact that Mike McCarthy basically spends his time with the quarterbacks and working with them is only going to benefit all those guys that are in that room. And that's probably, another one of the changes that we're seeing. Whether he's a CEO kind of coach or not, he knows where his bread and butter is and what he's about. And actually, I guess also the other news as well, they added somebody else to the coaching room, a throwback from Iowa State, the Cyclone, Seneca Wallace. Seneca Wallace is
really,
yeah, he actually got
Seneca Wallace.
Yeah, Seneca. Yeah, Seneca. I mean, people forget he actually played for McCarthy in 2013 for 1 year, by the way.
Right.
And he's been added to the coaching staff just for training camp. He's not going to be on the roster after training camp coaching, but he's in the quarterback room coaching throughout training camp. I forgot to bring that up.
I'm going to say this as a draft junkie. I'm a draft junkie. In my opinion, Seneca Wallace is on my list of players that was always overlooked because of his size. I was always a big fan of him in Texas A&M. I've always felt he never got it,
Iowa State, sir, not
Iowa State. I've always felt that he never got the shot that he deserved because of his height. Very, very intelligent quarterback. Very intelligent. He spoke a couple of times live, about reading plays, drawing up stuff, X, Y, and Z. Very intelligent, but he never got the shot. I think today's NFL, they give anybody a shot. It doesn't matter the hype because the game has changed so much. But I'm happy about that. I didn't know that.
Yeah, they just added him.
That's nice. I like that.
Tony said, I saw one of those interceptions were off of Gallup's hands. Well, they kind of, kind of off the chest, played a little bit, a little too, Gallup kind of let it get away from him. Great job by Anthony Brown, though, with his concentration off the ball and everything to pick it off. We actually, if you're on the group or if you want to go to the page, we actually got that video of that interception up there as well. But, yeah, definitely bounced up off of there. And then, of course, drone checking this. So what are we running? 3-4-4-3. The answer is both. It's multiple. They're going to be running both. I don't think they really practiced much of the 3-4 stuff in practice one, but today they definitely did. They had Allen Smith standing up on one side. They had D-Law standing up on the other side with 3 down linemen. So the answer to that question is they're going to be running both, Jerome. They're going to be playing. They're flexible. As I've talked about, I hope they decide to go into each week, whatever team struggles with more 4-3-3-4 looks is kind of what they'll do. But there might be something where, rundowns are in a 4-3, on passing downs they're in a 3-4. It's just kind of one of those things with the new coaching staff. We have to kind of wait and see and let it evolve. But what we do know and what they've been on record and what they practice is they are going to be running both.
Put it this way. Offensive coaches will spend longer times in a field room to try to find out what we're going to do. Versus in the past, this is only a 10-minute class. They do the same thing all the time. Y'all already know what to do. Big difference.
Boom. And the bearded one has showed up. Brian's in the building. Said 4-3, the base, but we'll run both. We think it is, but we'll see. We'll see.
They say it is. They say that.
They say it is. Might be a little cat. Might be a little cat and mouse there. Might be a little bit of cat and mouse there. Yeah, it's going to be. Hey, man. Winning cures all. And right now the honeymoon phase is officially upon us. Everything's going well for us. But if we get Randy Gregory back, it's just another yes, we can feel good again. If we happen to sign us a safety, Logan Ryan, since that's what he wants to play, that's going to make us feel pretty good. We have to feel pretty good about the front seven now, though. I mean, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You got to feel really good. Getting Everson Griffin in here in the 9 hour, if you will, to get out there with multiple ways that we can sit here and blitz now and come at you. And again, I think the big thing with LVE, as we talked about from the last one, getting moved to middle and going to get that green dot to free up Jalen just to go play is probably going to mean a lot as well. And Jerome says, what do you think about the outside rush? I mean, when you're throwing names like Alden Smith, Randy Gregory, D-Law, with the opportunity of even, Sean Lee maybe going over there, or, or Jalen Smith going over there as well. Bradley Anae, the rookie who blitzed, standing up as well that we got from Utah. I mean, yeah, I mean, there's multiple guys that get it done over there on the outside. Now, I don't think we're going to see Everson Griffin do too much standing because he can be kind of kicked inside. He can kind of be the DN, even a 3-man lineman. But I think the outside rush has potential just as much as the 4-man rush has potential. We talk about NASCAR packages, right? And you can kick Everson Griffin inside and have Alden Smith, Everson Griffin, Gerald McCoy, and DeMarcus Lawrence. I think, I think both ways with the guys and what they'll be able to do in this league and they're accomplished. I think it looks on both sides. Spoon, the outside rush. What do you think about it?
I love it. That's going to create a lot of pressure. That's going to create a lot of turnovers. Quarterbacks are going to won't be able to get in rhythm. In my opinion, with the type of rush that we're going to have, guys, we have so many good guys on the outside rush that we could plug anybody in any moment, take somebody out, keep a lot of fresh bodies.
Right.
As you said, BJ. Yeah, a lot of 3-4, 4-3. We whatever you're gonna run, we always have fresh. We're gonna have guys who are flexible enough to hold on the other guy, for a break or a rest. So that's the key thing. We won't miss a beat.
And of course, another question here coming in from Michael saying, does anyone of any teams have done this running both and how they did at the end of the season? Well, I mean, there's a team up there in New England that runs multiple and absolutely unequivocally plays 4-3 and 3-4 man fronts. And we've kind of known how they've been successful over the years with that. So, yeah, I mean, there's definitely – I mean, we're not the first team to get out here and do this kind of thing. Like I said, New England's done it for years. You've actually seen even the Bengals, whenever Marvin Lewis was there, did some 4-3 and 3-4 looks at the same time. Baltimore, when Lewis was there as a defensive coordinator as well, and one with it would run some multiple 3-4, 4-3 as well. So yeah, definitely teams have done it. Definitely has worked well. It's as long as you have the personnel to do it, which the pieces that Cowboys have added this offseason kind of allows us to be able to do that along with the draft as well.
I give you a guy.
Okay.
Remember Mike McCarthy in Green Bay, Don Capers.
Capers also, yeah.
Yeah, Don Capers from
Panthers. Yeah,
2009. He was part of that Super Bowl staff. 2009 to 17. He ran the 4-3 and the 3-4. Sometime it was a 4-3 base, and they did wonders. And here's the thing, and I always point this out. Organizations play a big role in the type of scheme that we're going to run. You know why? How many times, basically, can they get the players the coaches need to operate the way they want to operate? And I'll tell you this right now. Green Bay never got really what's that word for it? Their GM, General Manager Ted Thompson, he never was very active in improving the team like that, like the way you see we got in Dallas. They could have just said, you know what, we're gonna draft players and go from there. No, they're getting some players.
Right.
They bring some players to help run this scheme.
Yeah.
They want to dominate.
Right.
That's the great thing about this defense. Right. Don Capers, he was one of the top guys to run it.
Yeah. Also, another question here says, how about the tight end group? So far, I mean, we're for this show, we're all big fans of Jarwin. I had to bring Spoonie on a little slower over the years, but he's seen the light. It's Jaws season. We're excited about what he can do. We actually kind of talked about some of the things that McCarthy talked about, how he's going to help this team be able to attack the middle of the field. And the thing about that, now, I mean, in camp, okay, he had a drop. Blake Bell had a drop. And you still got Dalton Schultz there. And I'm excited to see what Dalton Schultz is going to do underneath the new regime so far. But, I mean, obviously you're going to put the horses on Mr. Jaws and ride him. I think the tight end group's got a chance to be really good. Blake Bell is a solid backup. He can block for you. He can give you a little juice in the pass game. Not a lot, but he give you a little juice. He can throw the ball. He threw a touchdown pass last year over there in Kansas City to Travis Kelce. But again, he's a consummate professional. Blake Bell is. But at the end of the day, Blake Jarwin's the guy. And Mike McCarthy's raved about him. I'm excited to see him to get going. I think he's definitely going to be the key. And actually, we talked about this on the Training Camp Thoughts a couple of days ago. I said he's going to be the reason why we won't have 3,000-yard receivers. Book it. If it wasn't for Blake Jarwin, I think we would have 3,000-yard receivers. Blake Jarwin, what he's going to be able to do in the middle of the field is going to be the reason why we won't have 3,000-yard receivers.
Yeah, the one thing I like about Blake Bell was that the minute he was signed by the Cowboys, his teammates in Kansas City. Now, you know, when a top player goes to somewhere else, they have their goodbyes on social media. They went really hard with Blake Bell. All you kept on reading was the Cowboys got a player here. They got somebody good here. And again, when you got a Kelsey on that team, you're not gonna know who the backup tight ends are unless something happened. They come in, and he did come in for a play and threw a touchdown. Now, mind you, it's pretty much the same similar offense that he will be in with Dallas, where he was in Kansas City. So he's familiar with this offense. He'll catch on real fast on what to do. But I'll tell you this right now, the tight end position is probably the only position on this roster. It's low key that nobody really is respecting yet because Blake Jarwin hasn't been that guy yet. I like Blake Bell. And Schultz, maybe we'll see some more out of him. We didn't see a lot out of him yet.
I think there'll be more opportunities. I agree. I think Schultz will get some more opportunities. We'll see a little bit more from him as well.
Because remember, in Stanford,
if he doesn't do it this year, it's probably a wash.
He's out. I say right now, Zach Ertz, your boy from the Browns, they all came from Stanford. And even when Dante Schultz was drafted, when we drafted, the one thing they kept on saying was the year that he played, they put him in on a lot of blocking plays. So that's what hindered his draft spot because there wasn't a lot of tape to see what he does as a receiving tight end. But when he did go out for catches, he was solid. But we're gonna see.
Yeah, definitely. Dave Moore says, anticipate this offense putting up big numbers, and that will allow the defense to pin their ears back and blitz a lot. And look, and if you listen from the very first time that McCarthy has spoken all the way through, his message has been the same. I want all the pass rushers. I want to go. We're going to score points, and we're going to go get the quarterback. He said that multiple times. He even said to the point of the fact that he wants to score. His idea is to put up the points so they don't have to think and just go get the quarterback. So, no, I agree. I mean, and your defensive coordinator that you brought in here likes the blitz about 40% of the time, 40% of the time.
Love it.
So, I mean, it's coming. Yeah, I mean, blitzkrieg is definitely coming. I would love to see Cowboys versus Chiefs in the Super. I mean, I ain't greedy. I just want to see the Cowboys in the Super Bowl. I mean, it would be a fun show, though, right? A lot of fireworks.
Hey, Mike.
There, but look. Just get the Cowboys there versus whoever.
I like Michael. No, I like Michael. Yeah. Pardon me, Michael, if I said the last name wrong. But I like Michael K. You know what I like about that? He wants to challenge. Yeah. Now, there's a couple of days ago on the last show, I had told BJ Bluff, and I told Tuck, I want to see the Dallas Cowboys face the Green Bay Packers in the NFC Championship. I want Dak versus Aaron Rodgers. Who will go ahead? And guess what? That's a bonus. I also want Dak to move on to the Super Bowl versus the Chiefs with Mahomes. I want that. I want my man Dak. Like, what else? You're gonna doubt me about it now. What else?
Hey, you're ready. I mean, and if that all goes down, sir, you're ready for that $45 million a year.
Hey, give it to him.
Give it to him.
Give it to him. I'll give him my paycheck too. You give him part of your paycheck.
Hey, man, as always, I mean, we appreciate y'all rocking with us, man. We try to do this on a regular basis. Our normal show is every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Central. But, with training camp in here, we like to come in, buzz in, talk to y'all, give our thoughts, get y'all some updates on what's going on with these guys at camp and everything. Again, for me, biggest thing so far is definitely no injuries. Spoon, I think I'm going to speak for you here. I guess the biggest thing for you so far, attitude and what's coming out from the players at camp. If you aren't already in the group, please, by all means, come join the Star Game group. Go find the page as well. Like and follow the page. We put some extra content up there. We're also on YouTube now as well. We got a couple people over on YouTube. Shout out to my guy, Norton, over there. As well, you can go sub over there, hit the notification button. Follow us on that side as well. We appreciate y'all as always. Spoon, any word for the people before we get out of here?
Cowboy Nation, do you hear that? Do y'all hear that? Hey, no. Do y'all hear that?
Oh. Yeah.
Come on, let's feel it.
Here's the thing, Turner. Sometimes people hear this stuff and we just jump on. But for sure, me, Spoonie, and Mary, typically Tuesdays at 8. Outside of that, you got to hit that notification button on YouTube or Facebook so you know when we go live. It hits you, let you know we live. Now you're not. I mean,
we them boys.
Yeah, we them boys. You got to hit that. You got to hit that notification button for sure, all day, every day. But hey, man, everything's going good so far. We're in the honeymoon stage for sure. We're going to see y'all Tuesday. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe we'll practice. Maybe we'll come back around again tomorrow.
Maybe a midnight signing. Yeah, midnight creeping.
Maybe get Randy Gregory back. Monday is Monday. Hey, maybe get Logan Ryan back. I don't know. I mean, things can absolutely unequivocally. No, if it's we definitely appreciate you.
And
we'll catch y'all on the flip side.